As many of you know, I love BJJ, but things are not always going smoothly. Having trained Aikido for 15 years and learning that it didn't teach me how to realistically defend myself even one bit, after moving on to learn effective martial arts, I was anxious to become as good as possible as fast as I could. I felt I wasted so many years already, I was not about to waste anymore. That's why I fell in love with the word efficiency. Through my roughly 4 years of training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I've experienced training at close to a dozen places. None of them impressed me as much as SBG Portland in regards to teaching BJJ as effectively as possible. SBG's head coach and founder, Matt Thornton, emphasizes that learning many different BJJ techniques is not the fastest way to master the art. Instead, he introduces what he calls fundamentals, essential BJJ principles that all of the techniques rely on. If you can understand how these fundamentals work, you can make any technique work, and you can make it work really well. This experience left a deep impression in me, understanding that how many techniques you learn doesn't matter. What really matters is how you learn them. I was quickly drawn to his teaching methodology, most likely because I had a strong opposite experience before that. In my Aikido days, I learned literally thousands of different techniques, but when time came to spar or grapple, I couldn't use even one of them. I couldn't bear to train in a way which in my mind seemed to be not the most efficient way. While I was training at SBG Portland, I was thriving. But when I came back to my home country Lithuania and discovered that the local BJJ club focuses mainly on techniques, I faced a crisis. Eventually, I stopped training BJJ altogether, hoping that one day I will go back to SBG Portland and will continue my training there. Then one day, I learned that one of the coaches at my local BJJ gym does teach fundamentals as well. I was exhilarated. Suddenly, training became much more appealing again. But unfortunately, that did not last long. Soon enough, the BJJ coach who taught fundamentals went away for a 2-month vacation. I was about to go into a crisis mode again, but then I stopped and asked myself, will I stop training BJJ every time I won't have access to my preferred way of teaching? I figured that there must be a different solution. I just had to find it. While I was hesitant to go to training focused on technique, I decided to do it nonetheless. I thought to myself that maybe, if I'll do it for long enough, I may fall in love with learning techniques as well. So I have to say today's training was kind of fun. I still missed the principle-based training, but nevertheless I did feel like I learned something. And the best part of the training actually for me was when I went to my coach at the end of the class, I asked him for some tips. I asked him to identify the worst things I did and the good things I did. And that's when we started having a conversation about his style, his approach to training. And that was the beautiful part for me. So I can't say I overcame my problem with learning a lot of different techniques in BJJ, but I do feel it was a step forward. So let's see what's gonna happen next. I thought that maybe I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I decided to continue to push on by taking a private BJJ class with my coach, who is a technique beast, hoping that my love for learning techniques will continue to grow. So I'm sitting down right after the training, and I have to say I have kind of mixed feelings. Sometimes whenever my coach showed me some of the moves, I was like, whoa, this clicks really well. We can flow from one technique to another. And I think I started catching on to the whole hype of people who do like to collect techniques and move from one technique to another technique. At the same time, part of my mind was looking at it all and thinking, well, yes, but these are techniques and this is the style, and that mentality of me of wanting to understand exactly what's happening and why it's happening was also kind of there looking at from the side. Then something occurred to me. I started wondering, what if I'm simply overthinking all of this? After all, overthinking things wasn't uncommon in my everyday life, but I still wasn't sure. So I decided to go to the very source to ask for advice. I called up Coach Matt Thornton. We had a short talk with Matt about the importance of learning fundamentals. But the question if I'm overthinking things kept lingering in my mind. So eventually, I decided to simply ask. So I'm trying to look very deeply at all of this to find the fundamentals and to question, okay, is this the best way to learn? I also sometimes wonder if I'm not overthinking and maybe I'm putting too much stress on myself, or do you think it's normal and okay to be so analytical about it all?
First thing is, yeah, you want to enjoy the journey. What I try and tell students is focus on what you're doing, not on how you're doing. When they get frustrated with jujitsu, the reason why they're frustrated with jujitsu is usually because they're measuring themselves against somebody else. They're chasing a goal in their mind, be it a black belt or particular level of skill or something that's in the distant future, measuring how close or far away they think they are to this imaginary goal that they've created. And that's a complete waste of time. Instead of doing that, think about what you're doing at a given moment in time. Focus on the jujitsu that you're doing right now. If the instructor's teaching, focus on what that instructor is teaching right then and there. When you're drilling, focus on being present. When all that's done and over, if you find yourself thinking a lot about jujitsu analytically, the way you were talking about, how does it work? Could it work better if I did this? You're not measuring yourself against somebody else or against some future goal. You're just obsessed with the mechanics of jujitsu. Then I think that's actually a blessing. I've seen 3 or 4 people who were able to go from white belt level to high level black belt within 5 or 6 years. They train a lot. They're so in love with the activity that they do it out of enjoyment. So that's number one. The second thing that they all have in common is exactly what you're talking about. They're obsessed analytically with how the art works.
Me and Matt then devised a plan for me to train in the most efficient way, something I will share in a future video. But at that moment, I realized that there was a discovery I've made, which was even more important than that. I realized that my main problem wasn't the way BJJ was taught, but my own approach in learning it. I was so focused on wanting to become as good as possible, as fast as possible, that I forgot to focus on what really matters. Focusing on one problem in BJJ at a time, doing my best in solving it, and enjoying the process as I do it. Having all of my focus on the overall, long-term process of becoming better as fast as I can, I felt stagnant. I was constantly thinking about what's wrong instead of actually doing something about it. I was essentially getting in my own way of getting better. I also realized that the same applied to my everyday life. I tend to overthink many things. Did I say this right? Did I make the right decision? What is this person thinking of me? I focus so much on being as effective as possible in my life that I end up enjoying life less altogether. Instead of enjoying the journey of life fully, taking and solving one challenge at a time, finding the best way to do it, and enjoying the process. Instead of constantly thinking if I am doing everything good enough. Who knew that by learning a BJJ lesson, I will have learned a lesson in life? If you're interested to learn about the hardest martial arts training of my life, which challenged me beyond my limits, click on the video right here. Thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you to own your journey.